from ending their own lives.
And Jackson says he believes Hathaway may have accidentally fallen from his hotel window and did not commit suicide, as reported earlier.
To horrible accidents.
Following the funeral, Aaliyah's fans cheered as her casket was carried down the church steps. Then, 22 white doves, one for each year of Aaliyah's short life.
Here are 10 black celebrities with the most tragic deaths in recent memory, starting with the tragic case of Aaliyah. The world stood still on the 25th of August 2001 when the news of R&B singer Aaliyah rang through the airwaves. Aaliyah was born in Brooklyn, and soon after she learned to speak, Dana Houghton began teaching her voice lessons. She signed a contract with Jive Records at the age of 12 because she was determined to become a star, and in 1994 she gained widespread recognition. However, in 2001, Aaliyah and 8 members of her film crew perished in a plane crash while she was returning home from a music video shoot. Aaliyah tragically passed away at the age of 22. While Aaliyah could not live her full life, Donny Hathaway also experienced a cut-short life. On a chilling January night in 1979, the lifeless body of Donny was discovered below his hotel window. This strange sight raised serious questions. What happened to this music legend? Throughout the 1970s, Donny Hathaway had one of the most brilliant voices in soul music, best known for his duets with Roberta Flack and the joyous holiday song This Christmas. Hathaway was a clear, multi-talented, brilliant writer, arranger, keyboardist, and captivating performer. His smooth, gospel-infused, passionate singing drove everything from love ballads to incendiary protest pieces. In 1973, Donny Hathaway began to partner with Flack, a strong relationship and partnership that made them almost family. However, Hathaway was discovered dead on the pavement under his room's 15th floor window in New York's Essex House on January 13, 1979. Investigators determined that Hathaway's death was a suicide since the glass had been carefully taken out of the window and there was no indications of struggle. His family and friends were devastated because his career had just begun to pick up again. However, it was Lisa Left Eyes Lopez's death that was a total shocker. Born in Philadelphia on May 27, 1971, Lisa Left Eye Nicole Lopez belonged to the R&B hip-hop group TLC. Being well known for her bold style created the group's brand of strong female leadership that propelled the trio to the top of the music charts. With Lisa Left Eye Lopez contributing her rapping skills, TLC was founded in 1991. Their debut album yielded 3 top 10 songs. Crazy Sexy Cool, TLC's 1994 follow-up, had 3 #1 songs and sold over 11 million copies in the US. However, Lopez's personal life was tainted by her tense connection with football legend Andre Rison, and she was jailed for setting his house on fire in 1994. On April 25, 2002, Lopez died in an automobile accident in Roma, Honduras, which is close to La Ceiba. From the fiery chaos of Lisa Lopez's life and death, we shift to another heartbreaking tale of a couple lost too soon. Rasuel Butler and Leah LaBelle, whose promising paths converged in a devastating crash. Leah LaBelle, a soulful singer from American Idol Season 3, died at 31 with her husband, ex-NBA player Rasuel Butler, in a nasty car crash on January 31, 2018. Speeding through Studio City, California, their Range Rover smashed into parking meters and a wall, flipping twice before they both passed away on the spot. Leah's voice had lit up the stage, chasing her musical dreams. Rasuel, who played ball for teams like the Miami Heat, was with her. Next, let's look at Sam Cooke's tragic ending, which came as a shocker to everyone. The world stood still on December 11, 1964, when soul music superstar Sam Cooke was pronounced dead, shot in a shady motel office after a wild night went wrong. What happened? Known as the Father of Soul, Cooke first hit #1 in 1957 with You Send Me, a smooth classic. Born Samuel Cooke in Clarksdale, Mississippi, he grew up in Chicago, the son of a preacher, starting with the gospel before popping off with R&B and pop hits. That night, he'd been out in Los Angeles meeting Elisa Boyer at a bar. They clicked and rolled up to the Hacienda Motel. Things got messy. After a fight in their room, Cook stormed into the motel office, clashing with the manager. She shot him, claiming self-defense. Cops called it a justified homicide, but the full story's still fuzzy. How did a Soul Legends night end like that? Next, let's dig into the wild tale of Marvin Gaye. The Prince of Soul, singer Marvin Pence Gaye Jr. was born on April 2, 1939 in Washington, D.C. Against a grim background of pervasive violence in his community, Gaye was brought up under the tight supervision of his father, Reverend Marvin Gaye Sr. Later in life, Marvin Gaye Jr. added the E to the end of his name to minister at a nearby local church. Gaye suffered greatly from substance misuse and depressive episodes that had afflicted him for the majority of his life. He eventually moved in with his father in the early 1980s, yet his addiction to drugs made him and his father fight and never wanted to settle things. Following a physical dispute, Marvin Gaye Sr. shot and killed his son on April 1, 1984. The father later was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter despite his claims that he acted in self-defense. This was a shocker, but the next case was more of a silent night in the world. Almost everyone remembers or has read about the demise of rap king Tupac, but what most people don't know is that his killer bragged about it in a book years later. How did it go down? Rapper and actor Tupac Shakur, a top-selling legend, owned the 90s gangster rap scene. On September 7, 1996, he and Suge Knight rolled into Las Vegas for a Mike Tyson fight at the MGM Grand Hotel. After Tyson's win, chaos erupted. Tupac scrapped with a Crips member in the lobby, and Knight's blood-linked crew jumped in, turning it into a gang clash. Later, cruising in a black BMW, they stopped at a red light on Flamingo Road in Koval Lane. A white Cadillac pulled up. A man leaned out, locking eyes with Tupac, and unloaded 13 shots from a Glock, hitting Tupac in the hand, pelvis, and chest. Suge caught shrapnel. The shooter peeled off. 6 days later, on September 13th, Tupac died at 25. In 2023, Dwayne "Keffy D" Davis was charged. Similar to this case was the case of Notorious B.I.G. Christopher Wallace, also known as Notorious B.I.G., had little to do on March 8th at the Westwood Marquis Hotel after his Europe trip got postponed. Vibe magazine says he spent much of the day with his agent Phil Casey discussing an upcoming tour. The rapper convinced his crew to hit an industry party co-hosted by Quincy Jones's Vibe at the Peterson Automotive Museum, figuring it was safe enough near Beverly Hills, as Sean Combs later noted. Wallace and Combs left with others, snapping pics before cranking life after death in a green GMC Suburban. At Wilshire Boulevard and Fairfax Avenue, a dark Chevy Impala rolled up. The driver, a black man in a blue suit and bow tie, made eye contact, then fired multiple shots, hitting Wallace. The gunman fled to Wilshire. Combs rushed to find his friend slumped, bleeding. Unfortunately, at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, Wallace, 24, was pronounced dead at 1:15 a.m. from 4 bullets. Nipsey Hussle, a Grammy-nominated rapper and Crenshaw hero, was gunned down on March 31, 2019 at 33 outside his Marathon clothing store in South LA. Eric Holder Jr., a fellow Rollins 60s Crip, shot him at least 10 times after a heated talk about snitching rumors. Holder fled, leaving Nipsey bleeding in the parking lot. He died soon after at a hospital. The cold-blooded killing shocked fans worldwide. In 2022, Holder was convicted of first-degree murder and got 60 years. Nipsey's death ripped a hole in his community, ending a legacy of hustle and hope. Next, let's take a look at Phyllis Hyman, who tragically took her own life. In 1977, Hyman released her self-titled album under the Buddha label, marking her solo debut. Later on, the album Somewhere in My Lifetime was released in 1979 when Buddha's contract was taken over by Arista. Unfortunately, following Prime of My Life's successful release, Hyman's life started to spiral into chaos. In the course of 1 month in 1993, she lost her mother, grandmother, and close friend. She was also dealing with depression, alcoholism, bipolar disorder, and money problems. She was worn out from trying to perform at AIDS support groups and benefit concerts all the time. Hyman's battles came to an end on June 30th, 1995, when she overdosed on sleeping pills and drank alcohol to end her life. She left a note that read, "I'm tired." If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel.